how B and I decided to figure would be the best way to do this is we're talking about getting them ready for the world, going from boys to men. So we figured that why not? Well, let's break it down to some of the main categories that we think are relevant and necessary for the world today, especially for young men. Because look, there's a loneliness epidemic. Men are in their house like playing video games, popping out knuckle children. I don't know what else, bro. And they're not really interacting with people. And what's happening is like there's even conversations right now of that men are women now and women are men.
Oh, I definitely see a change in that.
Dude.
I definitely see that.
Bro, so what? Tell me. Okay, I'm curious. Before we get into it, I'm curious. Like, what are some of the changes that you've seen or that you're seeing with the men that the boys coming up right now?
So, when I was working at Lifetime, I mean, I still work there a couple sessions a week, just do a couple classes, but it's a high demographic area. I mean, it's a wealthy area. Lifetime, they don't put clubs in areas that are like the household income isn't less than like $250,000 a year, right? They go to that certain demographic. So I see a lot of high-powered like women in there, CEOs, Fortune 500 companies, moving up the ranks, very aggressive, very male characteristics. And I'm not saying that as a knock, it's like they're very feminine, they're very, beautiful women, but there's male characteristics. Like they have like, you ever see like the Jordan Peterson stuff where he talks about the difference between men and women?
I've seen some of them. Like, yeah, he said, I mean, yes, I've seen some of those.
I wish I knew the types off the top of my head, because it's interesting. Because like women, for example, in general, they're more like they're more passive. They're more like, they don't put up a fight in the workplace. That's one of the reasons, according to him, that women don't make that much money. I've seen a shift now where it's almost like the opposite, where men don't put up a fight and women are more aggressive.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's like a chip on their shoulder or whatever it is. I have no idea. Maybe the man in the house is not picking up the slack, and now the women's got to help kind of balance it out. I have no idea, but I just see it more. I see it more in these days. There are more male characteristics in women and more female characteristics in men.
Yeah. So this is good. So I want to just set something up here, because what I'm hearing is when you're seeing the female demographic at Lifetime, you're seeing the quality. Like when you say the male qualities, what I'm hearing in that is the assertiveness, the direction. Like I also heard you say they're on the corporate ladder, so that tells me purpose. So like they have those qualities, right? Whereas and something else you said and this is like, I'm trying to remember if it was either Jordan Peterson or David Data. The thing with the passivity is that the feminine energy is receptivity. Yeah. So receptivity is naturally going to be more passive, right? So I think that was something Jordan, like they're receivers, right? Even if you look at the female, like the genitalia of males and females, like the woman has the receiver, man has the insertion, right? The direction. And that quality is flipped, and that's something that I'm seeing as well, man. Along with some
and it's interesting too. Like women, they marry men, but women are not getting married until later on in life. They're not having kids till later on in life. Yeah. And I was reading an interesting article about this the other day, and they were saying one of the reasons women aren't settling down and not having families right away is because the men that they're with, boys, they're children, and they don't see that safety, that security there. They don't, they don't have that structure. So they're like, hey, might as well work on myself, work my way up the corporate ladder, or maybe start a business and just hustle. And then when I do find the right man, I get settled down. Usually that happens later on in life. I mean, I'll take myself as a perfect example. I was a complete shit show until I was about 33, 34 maybe. And that's when the switch went off me and I started changing my whole mindset. But God, I was definitely a 33-year-old child. I was a 33-year-old or a 7-year-old boy in a 33-year-old body. I can definitely attest. Yeah,
right.
My 7-year-old still comes out to this day, but I can definitely tell it reflected on my life at the time, and everything goes for it. Like all my friends, my finances, my direction in life, how I felt about myself. That's all that 7-year-old child is, the inner child that's in me. I mean, you're a direct, I look at it as a direct correlation between your mental, emotional age until the external environment that you're in.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, dude. Oh man, bro, so much goodness, man. So much goodness in that. I want to. Dang, man, you're dropping so many gems. I had a thought, and I was like, man, I was paying attention to what you were saying. I'm like, dang.
Look at that. Even when I'm not feeling well, I still have the ability to drop a gem or two.
You're dropping gems, bro. You're dropping them.